What's good, YouTube? In this video, we're going to be talking about how to play Wraith in ranked arenas. Now, Wraith is probably one of the most underrated or underused legends when it comes to arenas. I know in BR or in the regular mode, she's probably one of the best, if not the best. But for some reason in arenas, not a lot of people play Wraith. I was one of those people. I never really played Wraith. I started playing Wraith a lot this past week, and man, she's really good in arenas. You know, I never thought that she actually was, but if you use her abilities right, use her really good. Wraith is probably one of the best legends to solo queue with, and she's also a legend who's very simple, and you could be really aggressive with her. And the reason you could be aggressive when playing Wraith, and also what makes her like one of the best for solo queuing, is because of her abilities. Her abilities are really useful, and you can be really creative with it. You know, you can be unique. So her tactical and her ultimate are the two abilities that you mainly want to focus on, because her passive doesn't do anything in arenas. So her tactical is her phase, and her ultimate is her portal. Not only are we going to be talking about Wraith's abilities, we're also going to be talking about the best guns for Wraith, the best legend comps with Wraith, and the best map for ranked arenas when using Wraith. But first, let's talk about Wraith's tactical ability. Now, Wraith's tactical ability is her phase. Now, it's a cheap ability. You don't have to spend a lot of, materials to get this ability. It's really useful, right? The phase only costs an extra 50 materials if you're going to buy extra. I believe they only give you one. I'm not 100%. I kind of forgot. They give you one or two to start off with. I want to say one. They give you one to start off with, and you can buy extra. And like I said, it's only 50 materials, so it's very cheap, and it shouldn't really affect your inventory a lot because of how cheap it is. Now, her phase allows you to be aggressive, right? This is the reason why I say that Wraith is one of the best legends when solo queuing in ranked arenas, is because put yourself in situations to maybe go for a flank or go for huge angles to tag the enemies, and if you get yourself caught in a situation, it's okay because you're Wraith, you can phase out of it, right? You have a ability to get out of any situation if you're if it's a bad situation, or even if you're down on health, or if you're seeing that you're about to get knocked. So use your phase during those types of things. And also, Wraith is one of the legends where it's good for her to get the materials and supply bins. The reason why you want to get the materials and supply bins when being Wraith is because of that phase. Now the only downfall when going for materials and supply bins is if the enemy team has like a Octane or a Pathfinder, then they might beat you to the spot. But when you're using Wraith, if you get to the spot and maybe you see two or the whole team right there on the supply bin, you could definitely back out of it by phasing out, compared to using legends like Pathfinder and Octane, where they can't go invisible, and Pathfinder probably already used his grapple to get to the spot, so he has to wait for the cooldown, and he probably won't be able to get it to get out of the spot. Now, when you use Wraith's phase, it does come back in 25 seconds, so it does take a while. I definitely recommend when you use the phase, you want to use it for when you want to get out of a situation. You don't want to use it for the speed boost. I know a lot of people will phase to get to a spot quicker, because her phase does give you extra speed. It's kind of like Octane's stim. When you're in her phase, you do run faster, but I definitely only recommend using her phase when you're trying to get out of the situation. Now let's talk about Wraith's ultimate. Wraith's ultimate is her portal. Her portal is, in this video, you're going to see a lot of times when I'm using Wraith's portal or her ultimate. This ultimate is really underrated. I think this is what makes Wraith actually really good in arenas. Because this portal, you could set a portal from your side of the map to, let's say, maybe into the enemy side of the map. And you could go back and forth with it using the portal. And you could just be so unique and creative with it, right? You could be on the enemy side while, you know, your teammates are coming in and you guys can sandwich the enemies, you can use that portal and flank. You can use that portal to grab huge angles. I mean, this is the reason why I started playing Wraith a lot in arenas, because of this ability right here, her portal. And not only that, it's not only is it like really good, but you can actually get her portal or her ultimate ability every round. For some reason, this ability is activated every round. An effective ability, so I would think that you can use it every other round like most legends and their ultimate abilities. But not Wraith. Wraith can use her portal every round if you buy it. And when you buy it, it's cheap. It's just like her phase. It's well, her phase is 50 materials, but her portal is only 150. This is probably on the cheaper side. When we're talking about ultimate abilities, I mean, you could take advantage of this easily. And just like her phase, when it comes to maybe getting out of a situation, so let's say if you use your portal to go from one side of the map, or like your side of the map, to the enemy side, you could, you know, inflict damage to the enemies and then take that portal back if you see enemies, you know, coming after you, right? If there's maybe 2 or 3 of them, you could use that portal to go back to your side and maybe bait them to take in the portal, and then you could have free shots because they took the portal and you know it. So that's one way to use the portal. Another way to use the portal is actually using it with gold bag. You could portal your teammates from maybe when they're down, like down out in the open, and you could portal them to a safe area, and then you could pair that up with the gold bag just like Lifeline, and you guys could revive with the gold bag and you guys could be back. Because majority of the time, if an enemy sees the portal, they're probably not going to take it unless if it's multiple enemies taking it at one time. So let's say if it's 1v1 and you see one of your down teammates getting knocked, you could portal him to a safe spot and use that gold bag and res. And let's say if the enemies do, or let's say if the enemy does take it, you get the free shots again. Now, when you're using Wraith's portal, you definitely want to pair it up with her tactical. Her tactical allows you to go invisible so people can't shoot you, and you can see where the enemies are. So when you're using your portal phase at the same time, so that you could get your portal in a safe spot. So these two abilities right here, in my opinion, her phase and portal make Wraith, like, I'm not gonna say a top tier legend, but definitely a legend that should be used a lot more in ranked arenas. So some other things about Wraith is, like I said with my Lifeline video, you know, Wraith is one of the smaller characters, so she does have an advantage when it comes to 1v1 gunfights. She can, you know, avoid and dodge bullets easy compared to using bigger characters like Gibraltar, Pathfinder. So take advantage of Wraith's size. Know that you're not going to be able to get hit as much compared to other legends. So with that, with the best guns I have with Wraith, I would recommend guns like the Vault, the Wingman, and the R99. You want to use these guns because they have good strafing because they're submachine guns and pistols. And not only that, Wraith's one of those characters that I feel like is a character that's going to be, you know, in your face and going to take you on for 1v1 gunfights. Wraith's a legend that's, you know, really aggressive. And the best legend comps that I have with Wraith, I think when you pair Wraith up with a Bloodhound, because of his information with his scans, and a Lifeline, that allows the Bloodhound and the Wraith to be aggressive while having the Lifeline. If anything goes wrong, you know, if any Wraith or Bloodhound get knocked, Lifelines are there to pick you guys up. And Wraith and Lifeline, you could pair up with their abilities. With Wraith's portal and Lifeline could probably come res. And the best map, in my opinion, the best map when it comes to using Wraith, I'm going to go with Phase Runner. Wraith can be used on every map, of course, but in my opinion, I feel like Phase Runner is the best map when using Wraith. I feel like to get to one side to another with her abilities is what makes Wraith really good. So I have Phase Runner. But yeah, so this is the video when playing with Wraith in ranked arenas. Like I said, I feel like she's an underused legend in arenas compared to, you know, BR. I know she's one of the most used legends in BR, but in arenas, if you're solo queuing and you're someone who likes to be aggressive when solo queuing, I definitely recommend trying or using Wraith out if you haven't. She's a lot of fun. She's actually really good. So let me know what you guys think of this video. If you could, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you watched all the way to the end, or if you're hearing this right now, let me know by typing in or commenting the number 6. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video.